for this noble launch of empowering lives to the society and to every individual. It has been a great honor for us as an organization, a pharmaceutical organization, to be associated with this noble concept. And we are delighted and grateful to Dr. Yash Lokanwala, Dr. Brian Pinto, sir, for this opportunity of this launch, which was of this app, which was discussed, deliberated for years together, and today we could make it possible. And for us as an organization, it's more remarkable because this is the 2025 will be the year that we'll be completing 50 years with the new management, and this is one of the noble initiative from the organization perspective. And for the Indian population as such, everybody knows that 2% of the population is what is the awareness of the CPR has reached out. Whereas just an information about a country called Denmark, where they were able to triple the causes leading to this cardiac deaths because of the awareness they created to CPR. So every initiative of this is not just an app. This CPR app of Revive CPR app is going to be much beyond it, and it is going to be more useful to every society, to every individual in saving lives. So with this, it's my great honor and privilege to welcome Dr. Yash Lokanwala to the dais. Of course, sir has been one of the renowned cardiologists of the globe, and he's also the co-founder of the Revive Heart Foundation. With more than 2 decades of experience, he has been associated with the Leelavati Hospital as well as with the Holy Family Hospital. So it's a great honor to have Dr. Yash Lokanwala, and his experience and expertise in this will definitely be instrumental, and of course his words of wisdom for us will be more and more useful. I take this opportunity to welcome Dr. Brian Pinto, another senior cardiologist of the country and a renowned personality. Apart from a doctor, of course, is a multi-talented personality also. So it's a great honor to have Dr. Brian Pinto, who's again a co-founder of this Revive Foundation. I welcome Dr. Kajol over here, who has been again an instrumental in this project of the Revive CPR app, with a lot of inputs which he has given to us. And as a co-founder of this, we welcome Dr. Kajol, and he's the national convener of this CPR awareness in our country. So welcome. I welcome Dr. Dr. Manju Sinha over here for again another co-founder of this Revive CPR app, and again an instrumental in contributing immense when we had discussed about this particular projects of this CPR app. We also have Dr. Aditya Kapoor from SGPJ Lucknow, Head of Department of Cardiology, who is joining us virtually, and he will be conveying his message to the virtual platform. So with this, I welcome you all, and I hand over to Dr. Kajol to take over the proceedings. Over to you, madam.
Can we have the presentation? Mr. Rajti, can we have the presentation?
भारत में एक सर्वे के अनुसार 15 लाख से ज्यादा जानें सडन कार्डियक अरेस्ट से जाती हैं। हम और आप मिलकर इनमें से हजारों जानें बचा सकते हैं, पर कैसे? डाउनलोड करें रिवाइव CPR ऐप, जिसको देश के रिनाउंड कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट के सहयोग से डेवलप किया गया है, और भारत में पहली बार आप इससे रियल टाइम में अपने निकटतम AED लोकेशंस को भी देख सकते हैं। रिवाइव CPR ऐप में जरूरत पड़ने पर 108 कॉलिंग की भी सुविधा है। आज ही डाउनलोड करें रिवाइव CPR ऐप।
Namaste, hi, I'm Kajol, the ambassador for the CPR campaign 2024.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अजय देव। मेरा नाम है डॉक्टर यश लोखंडवाल.
I'm Dr. Manju Sinha.
I'm Professor Aditya Kapoor.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kajol Goel.
And remember, the Revive CPR app is there to guide you through every step. It's simple, effective, and it's right in your pocket.
आपके नजदीक में कौन सा AED है, ये भी ये ऐप आपको बताएगा.
So download this app now, completely free of cost on iOS or Android.
इसलिए आगे आइए, ये ऐप को इस्तेमाल कीजिए और जान बचाने में हमारी मदद कीजिए.
Download the Revive CPR app on your iOS or Android device today and be prepared to be a hero when it counts.
A very good afternoon to everyone. I can't tell you how exciting this moment is for all of us at Revive Heart Foundation. We have been planning and thinking and dreaming of an app for so long that to see it come alive and to see it in your phones is truly a dream come true. Let me introduce you once again to the remarkable team that has made this possible. I've had the privilege of working with visionaries like Dr. Yash Lokhandwala, Dr. Manju Sinha, Dr. Brian Pinto, Dr. Aditya Kapoor, and we have brainstormed every little thing into this app. I hope when you download the app, you find it simple, easy, and effective to use. The app is not just an app. For us, it's a movement, because this is not where it stops. This is just the beginning. You will notice that every few months, there will be updates on your app. So remember to keep updating it. There are new features coming in. It is something which is starting off small, but believe me, in the next few months, this is something which every Indian will have in their phones. Because this Can we have the next slide? So why is this so urgent? Why are we doing it at this space right now? I'm sure everybody has recently noticed an increase in sudden cardiac deaths. Sudden cardiac arrest is all over the news. Although the media has been reporting cardiac arrest and heart attack as the same thing, eventually as the day goes by, you will understand how cardiac arrest and heart attack are different. Do you know, we lose almost 15 lakh lives because of sudden cardiac arrest. And there was a very beautiful thing that I learned from Dr. Mohan Agashe, a very eminent psychiatrist who was attending one of our events. He said, don't look at the number of deaths. It makes you feel like you're part of a losing war. Look at everybody who survived and think of that one person that you personally know who had a cardiac arrest and did not get CPR. When we start narrowing it down, we start believing that we can all make a difference. People ask me, what can I do? It's such a large problem. How can I address it alone? That's when I tell them, look at us. We are not a team of 500 people. We started off as a team of 5, increased to a team of more than 98 doctors around the country. And this is not just cardiologists. The anesthesia departments have been so immensely helpful to us. Dr. Manju herself is an anesthetist. Everybody can make a difference. The war is not lost. It is just beginning, and we are going to make a difference soon. In fact, the statistics say that only 1.3 to 9.8% people in India receive CPR after cardiac arrest. Across the world, the numbers are as high as 62%. We have a long, long way to go, but we are already starting on the right way. Let me introduce you to the app now. The small salient features which make this app the most user-friendly app that you will ever use. It provides step-by-step guidance. If you notice in the app, it'll ask you if you have experienced a sudden collapse in somebody in front of you. It will tell you how to identify a cardiac arrest. It will also teach you step-by-step CPR so that you know that somebody is guiding you. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lay person, anybody can use this app. It's absolutely simple to use. There's a one-touch emergency call feature. You will notice that any app will inform you that you must call an ambulance now. In fact, even Apple Health tells you, reach out to your medical emergency room. This app gives you a one-touch button. The minute you touch it, the phone gets connected to an ambulance. It also helps us find an AED. Now, why is this important? There are many apps which explain CPR. There are many apps which tell you what to do. But when it comes to finding an AED, there have been instances when there's an AED right next door, but nobody knows about it. In fact, in Pune itself, we asked people, do you know where the next AED is? People didn't know. In a radius of 1 kilometer, there were 4 AEDs installed by different organizations, but nobody knew about them. In fact, in the police headquarters, we had a new AED installed, and the new commissioner had no idea there was an AED in the building. So this app will help you identify the AED and show you where it is located. As time goes by, we are requesting people to start putting in data of an AED that they install. Once you put in that data, it will be verified from our end, and that data will also be live on the app. There is also a volunteer support system. The app has already started with the volunteer support. If you click on the volunteer support, a volunteer who is trained in CPR in your vicinity will get a notification. If he or she is able, they will come and help you immediately. Again, this will improve as we start asking people to register. You can already do it right now. If you know CPR, you must register as a volunteer so that in case there is an emergency near you, at least you can go there and help out. So why this app? People say you've been doing trainings, you all have been working with government officials, you all are working with police. Why do we need technology? We have more than 1 billion active SIM cards in India. What better way to reach out to maximum masses than put it in your pocket? It's very important that all of us have something handy in case of emergency. You can't go around asking people, you can't make a phone call to a doctor, you can't get that support. And everybody, I'm sure all of you here brought your phones, right? Somebody forgot something at home, but phones are all with you. So this is your superpower. That's why the app has to be in your phone. There's also something which struck me before I started speaking. There are such eminent cardiologists, such senior doctors sitting in front of you. I'm a health psychologist. So why have I taken the podium to talk about CPR to you? Because this is bystander CPR. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a trained nurse to perform CPR. Not only have I learned it, I have been teaching it. I have been running a national campaign for CPR despite not being a medical doctor. So I am living proof that you can step up. You don't need to be in the medical community. Learn CPR and spread the message.
एवरीवन, मैं संगीता ग्रीन पार्क से मैं कुछ दिन पहले वॉक कर रही थी। वॉक करते हुए मैं गिर गई थी, तो मेरे कुछ फ्रेंड्स मेरे साथ थी जो वॉक कर रही थी। उन्होंने मेरी छाती दबाई, सीपीआर किया, और उसके बाद डॉक्टर विनोद सिंगला जो हमारे ग्रीन पार्क में ही रहते हैं, तो उन्होंने भी हमारा सीपीआर किया, मेरी छाती दबाई, और नेक्स्ट डे मुझे हॉस्पिटल लेके गए। और नेक्स्ट डे मुझे उस टाइम मुझे हॉस्पिटल लेके गए और नेक्स्ट डे मुझे होश आया। तो ये 2 महीने पहले हमारे ग्रीन पार्क में कैंप भी लगा हुआ था, जो डॉक्टर विनोद सिंगला ने ही लगाया था। उन्होंने सीपीआर सबको सिखाया था, उसी की वजह से मैं बच पाई। तो मैं यही चाहती हूँ कि सभी लोग सीपीआर सीखें, उसका फायदा उठाएं, ताकि आप लोगों को भी, भगवान ना करे किसी को कोई ऐसी दिक्कत आती है, तो अपना सेफ्टी अपने आप से कुछ तो हम कर पाए। धन्यवाद।
This is the reason we are all here. Each success story has the power to become a snowball story. We need to collect, we need to emphasize the success rather than the failures. Let's start changing the narrative. If the press, if the media carries more success stories, we all feel more empowered as a country that we can make a difference. And believe me, there are success stories. We will be hearing more of these as the time goes by. This is more important than hearing about where somebody did not get the timely CPR. So this is Dr. Vinod Singla, and this is his success story. Congratulations to him. Moving ahead, we have also been able to harness a lot of celebrity support in the last 2 years. Earlier, this was a purely medical endeavor. We were trying to get doctors, we were trying to get all paramedics involved. But Bollywood has stepped in a very beautiful way. We've had Bollywood actors, we've had sports personalities. You can see some of them on screen. We've had everyone from just pause the video.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अजय देवगन। आपने हाल ही में कितनी बार सुना होगा।
So we've had sports personalities from Mr. Kapil Dev, Neeraj Chopra. We've had singers, we've had actors, we have Karan Johar, we have Farhan Akhtar. I think 2 of my slides are missing. We've had Bhagyashree, we've had Mr. Vishwas Patil, who's a police officer in Bombay. It has been tremendous. And we've noticed that when different people who are successful in their field start talking, a different segment of society is now listening. So if you look at our brand ambassadors, we've had Kajol and Ajay Devgan in the last 2 years. Their outreach has been phenomenal. a lot of people have started this conversation. The aim at Revive Heart Foundation is not just teaching CPR, it is also to raise awareness. So when people say, why are you wasting your time with celebrities? I say it's not a waste of time. If a few lakh or a few crore people are listening to CPR as a concept, at least when somebody tries to perform CPR, they will not stop them. This is as important as performing CPR itself. So these celebrities have really helped. I'm going to play Mr. Ajay Devgan's video, which we had made last year. Have a look.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अजय देवगन। आपने हाल ही में कितनी बार सुना होगा कि किसी की मृत्यु अचानक कार्डियक अरेस्ट से हो गई। अगर कभी आपके सामने कोई अचानक कोलैप्स हो जाए या बेहोश हो जाए, तो सबसे पहले आप चेक कीजिए कि वो सांस ले रहे हैं या नहीं। अगर उनकी सांस बंद है और वो रिस्पॉन्स नहीं दे रहे हैं, तो ये एक कार्डियक अरेस्ट है। अब आपको क्या करना चाहिए? सबसे पहले नजदीकी हॉस्पिटल में फोन करें और एक कार्डियक एम्बुलेंस बुलवा लें। अगर भीड़ जमा हो गई है तो बोलिए कि आपको CPR आता है और सबसे मदद की रिक्वेस्ट करें। उस व्यक्ति को एक हार्ड सरफेस पे लेटाएं। अगर आसपास कहीं AED मशीन हो तो मंगवा दें। अब आप जल्द से जल्द इस पोजीशन में आकर अपने हाथ ऐसे जोड़ें। पेशेंट के चेस्ट के बीचों बीच कंप्रेशन शुरू करें। आपका यही कंप्रेशन उनके खून को ब्रेन तक पहुंचाने का काम करेगा। याद रहे, कंप्रेशन 100 या 120 बार प्रति मिनट की स्पीड से करें। हर बार छाती को 2 इंच तक दबाएं और ऊपर आने दें। अगर AED मशीन आ जाए तो उससे चालू करें और पैड्स को पेशेंट पर लगाएं। मशीन के इंस्ट्रक्शंस को सुनें।
Right pad. No one should touch the patient.
और शॉक दें।
Shock advised.
ये मशीन गलत शॉक नहीं दे सकती। आप चिंता ना करें, पेशेंट को नुकसान नहीं होगा। एम्बुलेंस के आने तक CPR चालू रखें। अगर पेशेंट को होश आ जाए तो CPR देना रोक दें। हमारे देश में रोज कितनी जानें कार्डियक अरेस्ट से जा रही है। CPR से अगर इनमें से कुछ जाने भी बच जाए तो और क्या चाहिए? इससे बड़ा पुण्य क्या हो सकता है? नमस्कार।
So hats off to Mr. Ajay Devgan, and hats off to our next ambassador, who will be joining us virtually very shortly. They have taken a lot of effort to be ambassadors for the campaign, to put out content on social media, and social media numbers matter. We've noticed that people are starting to talk now. People automatically have started approaching us and saying, I want to learn CPR, what can I do? So yes, we hope that this continues. There are certain things that we as a country can do in very simple ways to bring CPR to every individual. We've noticed that no matter how large our sessions are, no matter how many people we train online, offline, we really can't reach everybody in India, right? So we need a system. How do we get this system in place? If we put it into the education system, let's say after standard 10, every child has to give a 5-mark exam on CPR. Wouldn't that be effective enough? We'll have a whole generation which is trained in CPR. There are some countries which have made it mandatory to give a CPR exam for a driver's license. Again, it's very simple. It's a controlled environment. Everybody at 18 has to go for a test.
CPR, AED, no. आज एक चीज का launch हो रहा है. Any idea?
Am I audible? We can also make a mandate for builders. We have been speaking about RERA. We have been talking to CREDAI. If as an association builders come together and if they have to have an AED for a certain number of flats that they sell, it can be an offense if they don't put the AED there, right? So unless we make it mandatory like helmets, nobody is going to listen. Till we said wear helmets for your safety, nobody wore helmets. But the minute we said you have a 200 or 500 rupee fine, there are helmets everywhere. So we need to put a fine on not having an AED. Gyms, parks, so simple. These are places, especially gyms. People are paying to be in gyms. They're paying hefty fees for them. It's so easy to collect a fund and put one AED in the gym, one session for all the instructors in CPR because these are intense exercises. People are likely to get a cardiac arrest and they can be saved. So this also should be a mandate. Well, let me tell you about the journey that Revive Heart has had so far. We have trained more than, how many now? 5 lakhs? 5 lakhs. We've trained more than 5 lakhs. It's very difficult really to put a number to this because there are sessions happening all over the country in large numbers. And it is so heartwarming to see so many doctors have just taken off with the campaign. Nobody is taking a beat to even stop and think, should I do it? There are sessions happening in police stations. There are sessions happening on railway stations. There are sessions happening in schools. So Revive Heart Foundation has come a very long way from being consolidated in Mumbai to now being a national campaign. This app, the Revive CPR app, builds on that legacy. And we hope what we have created as a base helps us to build this app and take it to more and more people. There is a credibility to the app. There are names behind the app. So I hope going forward, the ministry takes notice and we get to download this as part of our health culture. Again, a question I get asked very often. We love the campaign. How can we get involved? Some very, very simple steps. Download the app. You'll be surprised at how many people asked me, we want to be involved with the campaign. I said, did you download the app? They said, no. So I said, take the first step. At least download the app. At least attend one CPR session. There are online sessions. There are offline sessions. People always say we will learn CPR tomorrow. We tell them learn it today. This is one thing which needs to be done. Becoming a trained volunteer is not very difficult. I urge everybody to take the time out. If you can spare a day, go get certified, put yourself up as a volunteer, and you can actually make a difference. Spreading the word is so important that we ask people, please repost, please put it in the press, please put it in the media. The more we talk about it, the more the conversation flows. So again, my request to everybody present here, share everything you can about CPR, share the correct data. You will notice some misinformation online. Please don't percolate that. See simple, basic information. You can take it from the app, put it wherever you are online, and you will help the movement in a very special way. Well, this has been tremendous. I thank everybody for the opportunity for letting me speak at such a momentous occasion. I'm very, very excited for the launch of this app, and we'll be expecting Kajol to join us very shortly online. Till then, I would like to call Dr. Akshay Mehta and Mr. Biswas, who is the Station Superintendent of Marine Lines. There's a very beautiful success story that we have here, and they'll be sharing it now.
Thank you, Dr. Kajol. Thank you, Dr. Yash, for inviting us, and Revive Heart Foundation for inviting me. So this is a very happy ending, a story with a happy ending. On 29th August this year, a gentleman, 42-year-old, was standing at the platform number 3, right, at the Marine Line Station. And he had some discomfort a little, and he suddenly collapsed. And probably due to cardiac arrest. It's okay. Yeah. And fortunately, just a week before that, on behalf of my Rotary Club of Bombay Airport, we had conducted a CPR training session for the staff of Marine Line Station, and also installed an AED machine over there. And this happened just a week after. And when it happened, the station masters, Mr. Biswas, who is here with you and with us, and one Mr. Roy, both of them rushed to the platform and checked him and saw that he had cardiac arrest, not breathing. They started CPR and they had AED machine with them, so no time was lost. And fortunately, they could use the AED machine. The machine gave it shock itself, and the man was revived, and he was admitted to a hospital and then discharged from there. So this became the first instance, I think, in the history of Mumbai Suburban Railways where a lay person, a non-medical person, but trained, who could use a AED machine and revive a person. So he is Mr. Biswas, and we are fortunate to have him here.
I shall be ever remain grateful to Mr. Akshay Mehta and his teammates who conducted a training camp on 22nd August 2024. A week later, an incident took place at Marine Line Station. Around 14:55 hours, a passenger became unconscious and he was brought down with the help of co-passengers at platform number 2 and 3. I rushed to the spot and took him to nearby EMR room and started CPR. Meanwhile, I thought it is the right time to apply the AED machine, which was installed a week earlier. And we started that. After 15 minutes, the passenger, Mr. Subhash Joshi, resident of Virar East, Manuel Pada, he started screaming, but not loudly, mildly. And thereafter, after 15 minutes, we did it intermittently. CPR was still going on and machine is still going on. Intermittently, the process was going on. After 15 minutes, he gained some consciousness, semi-consciousness, and we sent him to nearby GT hospital for further treatment. So this is a pioneer step launched by Mr. Akshay Mehta, and AED is very much helpful to our society. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He has to be on duty, so he's going to leave now. Meanwhile, just wanted to inform everybody that because of the support received from the my Rotary Club members who have donated this large amount, we have installed 32 machines now at 32 stations and 4 more at other public places. And we have scope for 35 more machines. And I'm glad that Revive Heart Foundation is also giving us, I think, 8 machines. And so we'll have probably the entire city will be covered, the stations will be covered. And at every station, we have put up signboards, not only that AED is available, but also how to use step by step the machines, because that is a hurdle which many people face. So thanks, Revive Heart Foundation, for inspiring and leading this whole project. Thank you.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful interaction, Dr. Mehta. We are expecting Kajol to join us in the next 5 to 7 minutes online. Until then, we would love to share some videos which have come in support of the Revive CPR app. Please play them.
CPR app is there to guide you through every step. It's simple, effective, and it's right in your pocket. Together, let's make India CPR ready. Download the Revive CPR app on your iOS or Android device today and be prepared to be a hero when it counts.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अजय देवगन। हमारे देश में रोज कितनी जानें कार्डियक अरेस्ट से जा रही है। सीपीआर से अगर इनमें से कुछ जानें भी बच जाए तो और क्या चाहिए? इससे बड़ा पुण्य क्या हो सकता है? नमस्कार।
Hi, this is Dr. Dinsha Pardiwala, sports orthopedic surgeon and chief medical officer for Team India at the Paris Olympics 2024. Sudden cardiac arrests are unfortunately becoming more and more common in sports and are associated with intense physical exercises. At a time like this, the best chance of survival is with bystander CPR because they're not going to be doctors around. CPR stands for cardiopulmonary resuscitation. And if you can use an automated external device, an AED, which initially may sound extremely daunting, but actually it's not, you may save a life. The Revive CPR app is the best way to be prepared in times of an emergency. The app shows you step-by-step CPR and also the location of the nearest AED. Download it now and ask your friends and fellow athletes to download it too. You never know when you might need this app. And if you do, you'll save a life and you'll be a hero. Thank you.
Hi, this is Shilpa Shetty Kundra, and I'm so happy to announce the launch of the Revive CPR app. This app is available free of cost on iOS and on Android. So God forbid, if someone has a sudden cardiac arrest and you don't know what to do, this app can actually show you how to give effective CPR. It also shows you the location of the nearest AED. So please, what are you waiting for? Download the app. It's called the Revive CPR app today. And please be prepared for moments that matter.
The Revive CPR app is your superpower in your pocket. If you see someone collapsing due to cardiac arrest, this app can help you give CPR with the right steps. It can also find an AED near you. So don't wait. Download the Revive CPR app free today on iOS and Android.
Hi, this is Irfan Pathan. The Revive CPR app is the first step you can take to make your country cardiac safe. Download it now. If you ever see someone collapse due to cardiac arrest, the app will give you step-by-step instruction on performing CPR. It will also show you the location of the nearest AED machine. CPR may be someone's only hope for revival. Be a hero. Download the Revive CPR app and be prepared for the moment that matter.
Namaste, I'm Sara Ali Khan. CPR is an art that can easily be learned. If CPR is administered at the right time and in the right manner, the cardiac arrest patient can be given a new lease of life. Every cardiac arrest patient should be given that chance, and you could be the CPR hero that provides it. Let us all pledge to learn the simple, life-giving art of CPR and help to strengthen our country and its people. Log on to Revive Heart Foundation website and register to learn CPR the right way, completely free of cost. Be a CPR hero today.
Hi, I'm Farah Khan.
Hi, I am Badsha.
Hi, I am Amit Trivedi.
Hi, I'm Sunidhi Chauhan.
CPR is an art that can easily be learned. If CPR is administered at the right time and in the right manner, the cardiac arrest patient can be given a new lease of life.
Every cardiac arrest patient should be given that chance, and you could be the CPR hero that provides it.
Let us all pledge to learn the simple, life-giving art of CPR and help to strengthen our country and its people.
Log on to the Revive Heart Foundation website and register to learn CPR the right way, completely free of cost. Be a CPR hero today.
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 Namaste, hi, I'm
कार्डियक अरेस्ट से जाती है। हम और आप मिलकर इनमें से हजारों जानें बचा सकते हैं, पर कैसे?
May I request Dr. Manju and Dr. Yash to please start the demo for the CPR and show us how to use the aid.
Ganesh. So actually, Dr. Brian and me were fortunate to have Sumaya Raghavan with us, and she's joined in today. And we started this Revive Art Foundation. There were several others, Quentin, who's here helping us with our first initial steps to have the AEDs and make the app, which has become a reality today. Now, Sumaya is not here today, but she's joined online, and these training sessions have been taken by her day in and day out. She and her team, previously it was Anand and now Ganesh, have conducted thousands of sessions. Today, since she's not there, I will stand in for her, but I think first, Kajol is here, so we will have a live demo after that.
Hello.
Hello.
Good
Hi.
afternoon. I can't hear Kajol.
Can you hear me?
We are not audible. We're just checking. 1 minute.
Can everybody, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Kajol.
Hello. Hi. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon and a very warm welcome from everyone present here today and everybody who's watching you live online. It has been a true honor, Kajol, to have you as our brand ambassador this year. It has been a fantastic year and look how beautifully it is culminating in the launch of this app.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I think this app has been an amazing, addition and definitely, I think one of the most key things in the entire campaign that we desperately required.
We would love to know your thoughts about the CPR campaign. Tell us what you think. Tell us how you felt being with us for this 1 year.
It was amazing actually I've been on the CPR campaign for quite a few years actually, so this is not my first year. And the one thing that I'm absolutely amazed by is everybody's all these amazingly busy people, doctors and people that we know who are leading lives and are still so very enthusiastic about saving lives, which do not include an operating table or do not include a clinic or a hospital. So I think this is something that this campaign is something that I think everybody should be passionate about, because it is about saving people's lives and regular people's lives before they ever reach the hospital. And so yes, I am very passionate about it, and I think that I think you all guys are doing a fabulous job. In fact, this app is just one of those things that show you exactly how driven everybody is over here to make sure that all the lives that they can are saved.
Well, I completely agree with you. Everybody has put in their heart and soul into this app. Tell me, Kajol, what is your dream for this campaign in the future? What do you see us doing in the next few years?
Well, I honestly have, the sky is the limit, really. But I think with the app, definitely you've opened up a huge new avenue of people probably who, due to various circumstances, could not join the CPR campaign or would not join the CPR campaign for, various reasons, venue, distance, just simply not having the education as well. So I think that in itself is a huge hurdle that you have passed. And the sky is the limit, really. I hope that this campaign, I hope we hear more about how the campaign has saved lives and is able to do a lot more.
Let me add, Kajol, since you've joined us and since we've been so active with you online, we've seen such a tremendous support from people. Every time something goes up, there's a certain credibility, there's a certain love that people have for you. And we're all basking in that ourselves now, because people have started asking us, can we learn CPR? What is CPR? So you've really got the conversation going for us, and we're really grateful for that.
Thank you so much. But it's really, I don't take the credit for it. I think all of y'all, every one of y'all who has started the CPR campaign itself, the doctors and everybody on this campaign, I think you all definitely deserve the kudos more than me. Definitely, no two ways about it.
Well, let's give Kajol a big round of applause before we launch the app with her live. I invite the team members to launch the app with us physically while Kajol joins us virtually. So if we can zoom into this, we can show Kajol what we are doing. So the app is already online. It is live. We have checked it for all the errors, but today we officially launch it. And I request everyone to open this page on their phones. Let's all have a nice photo opportunity. We hold up our phones when the app is launched. Kajol, would you have the same picture on your phone?
Yeah, 1 second. I do. Hold on.
Can we have Kajol on screen, please?
One minute. Just give me a minute, please.
Sure, take your time.
Find it.
Are the panelists also ready with their pictures?
Oh, God. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Just give me a minute, please.
No worries at all.
Ready? So here we are.
Lovely. And with this, Kajol, may I have a line from you?
I have no lines really. I hope you just download this app. Please download this app. It can and probably will save somebody's life, if not somebody very, very close to you. So go ahead and do your either good deed of the day for yourself or for your family.
Thank you so much. And with that, we announce the app to be officially launched.
Thank you. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations.
We shall now do our little ribbon cutting with you. Dr. Yashpa. Sorry. Then you won't see anybody. This is good. This is good. Yes, go ahead. Super. Well, this was lovely. Congratulations to the entire team who has worked on the app. We have a lot more coming up. We have a lot more in terms of demo. We have a press interaction coming up. Kajol, thank you so much for your time.
Not
It
at
has
all.
been
My
simply
pleasure.
fabulous having you.
No, my pleasure. Absolutely. My pleasure and my honor. And, best of luck. I think as you asked me what all lies ahead, I think literally the sky lies ahead. It's amazing. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. We'll take this forward with us. Thank you.
have all, as I said, Sumaya Raghavan is one who always does this, but we'll have a brief live demonstration of CPR. Now, remember, most important is that usually the CPR victim, the cardiac arrest victim, will be wo zameen pe honge. He'll be on the floor, and it is quite difficult to give CPR on the floor. So therefore, please look at these next 3-4 minutes carefully. Can I have the slide? So the first step in a cardiac arrest is to recognize that person has had a cardiac arrest. Next slide. So usually in cardiac arrest, person will be unconscious. Now, बेहोश होने के अनेक कारण होते हैं, उसमें से एक है कार्डियक अरेस्ट. कभी किसको एपिलेप्सी जो फिट की बीमारी होती वो भी बेहोश हो सकते हैं, किसको डायबिटीज पेशेंट को बहुत शक्कर कम हो गई तो वो भी बेहोश हो सकते हैं, किनको ब्रेन का स्ट्रोक हुआ वो भी बेहोश हो सकते हैं. तो आप कैसे जानेंगे कि ये जो व्यक्ति बेहोश हो गया है वो कार्डियक अरेस्ट से बेहोश हो गया है? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. जैसे दिखाया गया है, पहले आप देखेंगे कि वो व्यक्ति आर दे रिस्पॉन्डिंग, उनके शोल्डर्स पे कंधों पे टैप करके देखेंगे, भाई साहब बहन जी आप होश में हैं, आप ठीक हैं. अगर कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं आ गया तो आप देखेंगे कि अगर वो सांस ले रहे हैं कि नहीं, ये या तो नाक के सामने हाथ रखे जैसे दिखा गया है, या आप सांस लेने के टाइम छाती और पेट आगे पीछे जाती है, तो आप 15-20 सेकंड आधा मिनट तक वो देख सकते हैं सांस ले रहे हैं कि नहीं. क्योंकि कार्डियक अरेस्ट में सांस भी बंद हो जाती है. अगर फिट की बीमारी है या दूसरे जो सब कारण बताया मैंने, शक्कर कम हो गया ये सब, तो उसमें सांस चालू हो जाएगी. तो अगर बेहोश रहते हैं, सांस नहीं ले रहे हैं, दैट मीन्स ये है कार्डियक अरेस्ट. ऐसे सबसे पहले आप डायग्नोज करेंगे कि ये व्यक्ति को कार्डियक अरेस्ट है. उसके बाद नेक्स्ट स्टेप है, आप मदद के लिए बुलाएंगे, चिल्लाएंगे. आजू में कोई खड़ा है तो उनको चिल्लाएंगे, फोन करके 108 को फोन लगाएंगे, और उसके बाद तुरंत आप चालू करेंगे कार्डियक मसाज, जिसको भी ऑल्सो बोलते हैं चेस्ट मसाज, और जिसको बोलते हैं हम CPR. तो वो किस तरह से किया जाता है? नेक्स्ट स्लाइड. सबसे पहले सब हाथ ऐसे रखिए, आप सब हाथ एक के ऊपर एक हाथ ऐसे रखिए. तो आपका दाहिना हाथ मेन है तो वो नीचे रहेगा और बायां पीछे, और फिर आप छाती के बीच में, निप्पल्स के लेवल पे बीच में वो हड्डी जो है डॉक्टर मंजू दिखा रहे हैं, वहां रख के या कंधे से एल्बो स्ट्रेट रख के आप मसाज देंगे. ये मसाज देना आसान नहीं है, और जैसे गणेश दिखा रहा है, अगर वो व्यक्ति जमीन पे है तो और भी मुश्किल है, और वो मिनट में 100 से 120 बार देना पड़ता है. नॉर्मल इवन फिट आदमी 2-3-4 मिनट से ज्यादा नहीं दे सकेगा. तो आप देते देते और किसको भी बोलना है कि देखिए मैं क्या कर रहा हूं या मैं क्या कर रही हूं, क्योंकि 2 मिनट के बाद आपको करना पड़ेगा. जो यू हैव टू डू इट बाय टर्न्स, क्योंकि कभी कभी डॉक्टर ब्रायन को पता है, कभी कभी 1-1 घंटे के लिए CPR दिया है और व्यक्ति की जान बचाई है. तो आप सोच सकते हैं जब तक AED मशीन आएगा या एम्बुलेंस आएगी मशीन के साथ, आपको ये CPR चालू रखना है. लोग गलती क्या होती है अपने देश में, हमने उसको गाड़ी में लेके अस्पताल लेके गए. दिस इज द टोटल रॉन्ग थिंग. उस टाइम अस्पताल आप हैं, क्योंकि अगर वो गाड़ी में लेके जाके अस्पताल पहुंचने को 10-15 मिनट लगे और ये मसाज चालू नहीं रहा तो वो व्यक्ति बचेंगे नहीं. नेक्स्ट स्टेप, मशीन AED ऑटोमेटिक एक्सटर्नल डिफिब्रिलेटर वहां आ गया, या एम्बुलेंस लेके आया, या आप कहां से भाग के कोई लेके आया, तो फिर आप उसको, नेक्स्ट स्लाइड प्लीज. जब CPR करते हैं तो एक्चुअली क्या हो रहा है, कैन यू प्ले दिस? आप वो हड्डी को दबा रहे हैं, वो 2 इंच अंदर जाके हार्ट को दबा रहा है, और वो हार्ट स्क्वीज होके बॉडी को ब्लड पहुंचा रहा है. जब आप छोड़ रहे हैं तो ब्लड वापस रिटर्न हो रहा है, और वो छोड़ने के टाइम इवन सांस अंदर, हवा अंदर जाती है. इसलिए माउथ टू माउथ ब्रीदिंग देने की जरूरत नहीं है. सिर्फ सीपीआर करना है और शॉक का मशीन इस्तेमाल करना है। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। ये है, गणेश आपको दिखाएगा कि मशीन जब आप खोलेंगे तो उसमें 2 पैड आएंगे। एक पैड राइट शोल्डर के नीचे और एक पैड इधर लेफ्ट एक्सिल या ये एरिया में लगाया गया है। इसमें स्टिकर होते हैं, तो वो अच्छी तरह से चेस्ट पे डायरेक्टली स्किन पे लगाना है। यू हैव टू, कैनॉट पुट इट ऑन द क्लोथ्स, यू हैव टू एक्सपोज द स्किन, और चमड़ी पे लगाया जाता है। ये पैड के स्टिकर काफी स्ट्रांग होता है, तो इवन हैरी चेस्ट हो तो भी वो रहता है इन पोजिशन। एक बार पैड लगा दिया तो मशीन को ऑन करना है, और मशीन आपको कह रही है डू नॉट टच द पेशेंट। कभी कभी कोई कोई मशीन ऐसी होती है जो लाइट्स दिखाती है, तो अगर आप वो भाषा भी नहीं समझ सके तो कहते हैं, जैसे डॉक्टर अक्षय आपसे बाद में बताएंगे कि वो ये लाइट है तो अभी आप दूर रहिए। जैसे वो लाल बटन दबाया तो मशीन कहता है लाल बटन दबाइए, शॉक देंगे। तो इस तरह शॉक दिया जाता है, क्योंकि मशीन अपने आप पेशेंट की रिदम जज करता है। और फिर मशीन कहता है कि अभी सीपीआर चालू रखिए, या पेशेंट आप खुद देखेंगे होश आ जाएगा। तो ये है सीपीआर देना और एईडी इस्तेमाल। कभी कभी 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 शॉक भी देने पड़ते हैं, और सीपीआर चालू रखना पड़ता है उस वक्त तक जब तक कार्डियक अरेस्ट के विक्टिम को होश नहीं आता, या हॉस्पिटल के या मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज पैरामेडिक्स नहीं आते, तब तक आपको आधा घंटा है, कभी पौना घंटा है, आपको ये चालू रखना है। डू नॉट गिव अप। नेक्स्ट स्लाइड। ये, कैन यू प्ले दिस? ये कोई सीपीआर विक्टिम्स जो, कैन यू प्ले दिस स्लाइड? इज इट प्ले? हाँ, ये हम कई साल पहले हमने बनाई थी। ये 90 सेकंड का क्लिप जरा देख लीजिए। साउंड इज कमिंग, साउंड। ये चेक कर रहे हैं। ये व्यक्ति आते हैं, कहते हैं ठहरो मुझे सीपीआर आता है। तो अपना ये कैंपेन का ये मकसद है कि कहीं भी कोई कोलैप्स हो जाए तो आजू बाजू कम से कम एक ऐसा व्यक्ति हो जो सीपीआर जाने। याद रखिए 80% कार्डियक अरेस्ट अस्पताल में नहीं लेकिन बाहर होते हैं, कम्युनिटी में। तो आजू बाजू, इसलिए हम कहते हैं बंबई में, फॉर एग्जांपल मुंबई में 20% लोग को सीपीआर आता है, तो हाई चांस है कि कोई एक तो ऐसा व्यक्ति आजू बाजू होगा जो सीपीआर में जानकार होगा। सो 20% ऑफ द पॉपुलेशन एटलीस्ट शुड बी आवर फर्स्ट एम। ये ऐप का दूसरा यूनिक चीज है कि अब तक सब एप्स अब्रॉड के थे। आई थिंक दिस इज द फर्स्ट ऐप विच इज मेड बाय अस इन आवर कंडीशंस, विथ रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस भी उसमें होंगे, एंड इट इज फ्री एंड इट विल बी अपडेटेड पीरियोडिकली। बाद में हम और सुनेंगे, लेकिन ये 15 लाख में से अगर अच्छी तरह सीपीआर और एडी का इस्तेमाल किया तो जो साल में 15 लाख लोग इंडिया में कार्डियक अरेस्ट से जो जिनकी जान जा रही है, उसमें से हम 5 से 7 लाख लोगों की जान बचा सकते हैं. So it's a big number. Next slide. ये एग्जाम्पल्स है जो लोगों को सीपीआर दे के बचाया गया है. इनफैक्ट मिस्टर प्रेमनाथ वाज द फर्स्ट जिनको मिस्टर समीर फरिश्ता जो डॉक्टर नहीं है, जो पैरामेडिक भी नहीं है, उन्होंने कार्टर रोड पे सीपीआर दिया था और ऑटर्स क्लब से भाग के एईडी लाके उनकी जान बचाई थी. आज भी बाद में उनका ट्रीटमेंट हुआ. ही वॉज हेल एंड हार्टी. और कई और एग्जाम्पल्स हैं. तो आप सब लोग ये प्रतिज्ञा लीजिए कि आप ये सीखेंगे, लोगों को सिखाएंगे, यंगर जनरेशन को एंथुजियास्टिक करेंगे इसके बारे में और अपने देश को कार्डियक अरेस्ट प्रिपेयर्ड बनाएंगे. आई थिंक दैट्स द लास्ट स्लाइड. थैंक यू.
We have Dr. Aditya Kapoor from Lucknow, who will now be moderating a panel discussion. Can we have all the panelists on screen, please? We'll also need a mic to go around because the questions are everybody.
Hi, Dr. Kajol, am I audible?
Yes, Dr. Kapoor, welcome. We sorely miss you here. We wish you had joined us in person. But welcome to you. Welcome to everybody else on the panel. I leave the floor open to you now. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you so much. Yeah, it would have been great if we all could have been there in person, but that is how circumstances were. But we are so honored and privileged to be here. So very, very good afternoon to you all. And all of us who are here, we have been closely associated with the CPR awareness session. And as Kinjal said, slowly we realize that, on an individual level, we might not be able to cover the entire expanse of our country. So this mobile app was thought about and we conceived it. And I think after the launch today, this app is probably going to be a game changer. It will empower the common public, the common man with knowledge and step-by-step instructions. So a very simple app to use. And Dr. Kinjal, Dr. Yash demonstrated the app and everybody is encouraged to download the app. So we have an elite panel over here with us. We have Dr. Haigrave Rao from KIMS Group of Hospitals, Hyderabad. We have Dr. Anand Shukla, who is based in Ahmedabad. He's a alumnus from our institution only, and Dr. Batra from Rohtak, and Dr. Thomas Alexander also, I think sir has also joined. And in the Geo Convention Center, of course, we have the entire RHF team, and of course, Dr. Akshay Mehta, Dr. Ajit Desai, and all the other people there. So my job over here is to just ask a few pertinent questions. I'm sure there'll be a bit of repetition because Dr. Yash demonstrated most of the things, and just as a humorous thing, I have never heard Dr. Yash speak such Kalisht Hindi for such a long time. Absolutely amazing. And of course, Samaya is also there. So she has been a pillar of most of our campaigns. And so at the outset, I'd just like to ask Dr. Haigrave first of all. Is Haigrave there? Hi, Haigrave?
There.
Hi. So, you are one of the key persons who has actually published data, not only on the global burden of sudden cardiac death, sudden cardiac arrest, but you also had some publication, some data from India as well. So can you briefly tell us, I think all the panelists, I'll request them to keep their answers brief and concise for about 2 minutes maximum because we don't want to run out of time. So can you briefly tell us some basic facts and statistics on sudden cardiac arrest in the Indian context? What is the approximate annual burden? What are the approximate survival rates also if it is available? So, Haigrave.
Thank you, Aditya. True, for a very long time, we did not have any data from the country. And it was always from the Western world that we spoke about the data. Now, pretty much we have some preliminary data. Now, if you, the uh, prevalence or the incidence of sudden death in our country is approximately 10.5% of the total death. So, considering that about 10 million deaths occur every year, it is reasonable to say that approximately 1 million sudden deaths are there every year in our country. The second thing is where and whom they are. Where, in our study, we found that only 22% of the deaths occurred in hospitals. The remaining 78% occurred at homes or in the streets or everywhere outside the hospital. Predominantly male, 78% were male patients. And to consider who are the people who are occurring, cardiovascular disease is an important cause. 50% of the sudden deaths occur with the underlying cardiac cause, 50%. Because the cardiac deaths are increasing, the diseases are increasing so much in our country, especially the coronary disease. Patients do not disease. That is because they have risk factors of heart disease like hypertension, smoke, dyslipidemia, and we have published another medical study, a last study. We included 3 more risk factors: hyperglycemia, obesity, or obesity. Any of these factors are there. The patient who is otherwise asymptomatic, very high HbA1c. These are the patients who can die suddenly, who think they do not have heart disease, but they have heart disease. So the way the CPR is most important and resuscitation is important. Zero to 20%.
We can keep the video.
So these are in
Video.
I think your audio is breaking a bit, Highgrave.
Yeah. Can we keep the video off so the communication will be the better? Video off.
Highgrave is logged off, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Very much there.
Highgrave is there. Yeah, back again.
Yeah, did you get my last sentence?
Yeah, we just lost you a bit. Can you just say the last bit once again?
Yeah, the last bit was I was trying to say that the survival rates are low because the resuscitation of the CPR rates are only 0 to 20% at the maximum, the mean of about 10%. So the survival rates have always been extremely low out of cardiac arrests in our country. In brief, these are the statistics.
Yeah, so as you rightly said, the burden is enormous and the survival rates are very, very low. So we need to really work on this, and hopefully this app is going to be a game changer, as I said. So I'll quickly move on to Dr. Anand. Anand is based in Ahmedabad. He has done some pretty phenomenal work in doing these workshops. Very, very inspirational work. So Anand, again, many of us have been asked these questions in CPR awareness workshops that even the members of the media, sometimes they're unclear about heart attack and sudden cardiac arrest. So I think Kajol also briefly alluded to it, but again, in the next 2 minutes, you can just summarize what exactly is heart attack, what exactly is sudden cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, you have rightly mentioned that people are confused between the sudden cardiac arrest and heart attack. In heart attack, there is a blockage of the vessels. So there is a symptoms of chest pain sometime, or sometime in extreme presentation, the heart attack may present itself as a cardiac arrest. But in sudden cardiac arrest, it is a electrical disturbances of the heart. So electrical heart stop beating. So it required the CPR and on AED machine to revive the electrical disturbance of the heart. So in nutshell, the heart attack may present as a sudden cardiac arrest, or majority time it may present with the chest pain, perspiration, all these symptoms. So whenever there is sudden cardiac arrest, electrical disturbances, CPR and AED is the cornerstone to revive the victim. Thanks, sir.
एक्सलेंट सो अगर मैं हिंदी में कहूँ तो हार्ट अटैक एक ब्लड प्रवाह की या खून के प्रवाह की समस्या है और सडन कार्डियक अरेस्ट एक विद्युत प्रणाली की समस्या है. सो
जी
that's very well summarized. So Dr. Batra is there. So again, he's been a key member of our team who's been doing this workshops, and I think his team has trained more than 10,000 odd guys. So that is again brilliant work. So Adit, Dr. Yash again told us, but again this is a very very important point कि अगर किसी व्यक्ति को sudden cardiac arrest हुआ है, वो collapse पड़ा है, सर ने बताया था कि भाई मल्टीपल कॉजेज हो सकते हैं, तो क्विकली 3 बेसिक स्टेप्स की पब्लिक, हमारे ऐप में भी है वो, बट 3 क्विक स्टेप्स की पब्लिक को कैसे पता लगेगा, कॉमन मैन को कैसे पता चलेगा कि उसको कार्डियक अरेस्ट ही हुआ है?
जी सर, नमस्कार, मेरा नाम डॉक्टर आदित्य बत्रा है और रिवाइव हार्ट फाउंडेशन द्वारा शुरू की गई इस महान और पवित्र मुहिम का हम सारे भारतवासियों को हिस्सा बनना है। और इसमें सबसे पहले एक्शन स्टार्ट करने से पहले हमें ये जानना है कि पेशेंट को कार्डियक अरेस्ट हुआ है कि नहीं हुआ है और उसको सीपीआर की आवश्यकता जरूरत है भी कि नहीं है। तो इसके लिए 3 सिंपल स्टेप्स हैं जो हमें फॉलो करने हैं। पहला स्टेप, हमें ये जानना है कि पेशेंट अनरिस्पॉन्सिव है, तो उसको जानने के लिए हमने पेशेंट के कंधों पे टैप करना है या उसको हिला के देखना है और उसको बोलना है, जोर से बोलना है, क्या आप मुझे सुन सकते हैं, क्या आप ठीक हो? पहला स्टेप, इससे हमें पता चलेगा कि पेशेंट कोई रिस्पांस नहीं दे रहा है। और इसे हमें डिफरेंशिएट करना है कि पेशेंट को कोई सीजर तो नहीं आया, पेशेंट बिल्कुल अनरिस्पॉन्सिव पड़ा है, उसकी बॉडी में कोई मूवमेंट्स या कोई सीजर लाइक एक्टिविटी, कोई फिट्स की मूवमेंट्स नहीं है। उसके बाद दूसरा स्टेप आता है कि कार्डियक अरेस्ट हुआ है तो आपका सर्कुलेशन स्टॉप हो जाएगा। सर्कुलेशन स्टॉप होगा तो आपकी पल्स मिसिंग होगी, लेकिन वो पल्स हमें कहां चेक करनी है? सिंपली आप हाथ की नस से भी चेक कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हाथ की नस कई बार मिलना मुश्किल होता है, तो सेंट्रल पल्स जो सबसे नजदीक हार्ट के पल्स है उसको हम कैरोटिड पल्स बोलते हैं। तो जो हमारा ये विंड पाइप है, जो सांस लेने की नलकी है, जो कि हार्ड होती है, इस हार्ड नलकी के दोनों साइड में जो सॉफ्ट एरिया है वहां पे कैरोटिड आर्टरी जाती है। वहां पे हमने 2 फिंगर्स रख के और वहां पर चेक करना है कि कैरोटिड आर्टरी नहीं फील हो रही है, इसका मतलब हार्ट नहीं चल रहा है। तीसरा इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट इसमें है रेस्पिरेशन, ब्रीदिंग, कि पेशेंट ब्रीद नहीं कर रहा है। तो उसको जानने के लिए हमने पेशेंट की नाक के पास या तो अपनी 2 उंगलियां रखनी है और ये फील करने के लिए कि हवा अंदर आ जा रही है कि नहीं जा रही, या अपना चीक उसके नाक के और मुंह के पास लेके जा सकते हैं, ये जानने के लिए कि वो हवा हम फील कर सकते हैं कि नहीं कर सकते। दूसरा स्टेप उसके चेस्ट की और एब्डोमेन की, क्योंकि जब हम सांस लेते हैं तो आपकी चेस्ट और पेट की मूवमेंट होती है, अगर वो मूवमेंट नहीं हो रही है तो इसका मतलब पेशेंट की ब्रीदिंग भी नहीं चल रही है। तो 3 सिंपल स्टेप्स, पहला पेशेंट को चेक करना कि कोई रिस्पॉन्स नहीं है, पेशेंट रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहा। दूसरा, उसका हार्ट काम नहीं कर रहा तो उसकी पल्स मिसिंग है, पल्स नहीं चल रही है। तीसरा, उसकी ब्रीदिंग को चेक करना कि उसको ब्रीद नहीं कर रहा है। उसके बाद पेशेंट को तुरंत ये वाले तीनों काम 10 सेकंड के अंदर अंदर एज सुन एज पॉसिबल हो जाना चाहिए, बिकॉज एवरी सेकंड मैटर्स टू सेव अ लाइफ। ये सब करके पेशेंट को फ्लैट हार्ट सरफेस पे शुरू करके एक्शन स्टार्ट करना है। वो एक्शन कैसे स्टार्ट करेंगे ये हम आगे बताएंगे। तो ये सब चीजें करके हम सब लोग जब सीपीआर सीखेंगे, जब सीपीआर सीखेगा इंडिया, तभी तो आगे बढ़ेगा इंडिया।
क्या बात है, spoken very well. So simple steps Dr. Batra ने हमें समझाए, so I'm sure we'll all learn from it. Now I'll move to the people who are in the hall, and I think we have a very important and key person who has been a very important pillar of our campaign, Dr. Ajit Desai sir. Dr. Ajit is there, I hope. Is Ajit sir there?
Yes, Aditya, I am very much there.
Yes, sir. So, you have again, like Dr. Akshay Mehta, you have a couple of inspirational, success stories. I also recall the time, and we have spoken about it yesterday as well. MIG Cricket Club पे सर ने किसी की जान बचाई थी, and I'm sure there are other incidents also, because ये story share करना बहुत जरूरी है, because people will actually believe that a simple life-saving skill like CPR, if applied in time, can help save a precious life. So, sir, please recapitulate that incident with us, or any other which you would want.
Yeah, thank you, Aditya. At the outset, I think I must tell you that initially Revive was something which was different. It was here as eye care, and it was started somewhere in the late 2017. And this was what we initiated, me and our 2 societies, to have get the AED machine installed in our societies. And this is where it started. And I'm talking about one of the incidences because I'm into a lot of sports, being involved with the MIG Cricket Club. And on this was on the 25th of Jan 2020 that one of the friends who was also playing badminton at that time, he was about 58. He was the assistant commissioner of in the Mumbai corporation. And he played his game and he was sitting by the side and I started playing the next game. And by the time I went on to the court and played one or two shots, I realized that his name was Ashwin. He started convulsing and he became tight onto the chair in which he was sitting. So the moment this happened, I rushed to him and the other people also came. We made him lie down flat. And the moment I saw that he was not breathing, there was no pulse, I started initiating the CPR for him. And incidentally also called the other people to call my wife, who's also an anesthetist, and my son, who's also a cardiologist, to come in and at the same time get the AED which had been installed in our society. So I continued giving him the CPR for almost about 5 minutes or so. By the time the AED machine came in, we applied the AED pads and then shocked him. And fortunately for him, with God's grace, he reverted back immediately at the first shock itself. And we had the tracing also, which I showed it to Yash, and it showed that it was a ventricular tachycardia, ventricular fibrillation, which had reverted. And so we took him to the hospital, got his angiography done. I did it angiography, he underwent bypass surgery. And believe me, it is 5 years he started playing badminton again, and he's on the court for the last 4 years actually. Besides this, we had another patient who was in our society, a young fellow who was about 46 years old. His photograph, they showed it, his name was Atul Dige. And he was an avid marathon runner. And on Sunday, he came in after his 10-kilometer run and he was sitting on the parapet in our stilt area and he just collapsed. The friend who was there with him immediately called me on the phone, and I was on my way going down to the hospital for my routine rounds in the morning at about 8 o'clock. So I realized I went there, he had stopped breathing, no pulse, gave him cardiac CPR, called my wife, my son. We had the AED machine which was installed there. So we brought in, it took almost about 5 to 7 minutes before we put on the pads and then give him the CPR. I mean the AED shocks. First shock, he did not revert. We gave him the second shock, he did not revert. And when the third shock, in between we were continuing the CPR, he reverted back and his signs of revival came in, his pulse came in, he started breathing, took him to the hospital, got his angiography done, did the angioplasty. And today, he is again back to his way of looking to life, and that is running marathon. And just last week, he ran the Navy Marathon, which is 10 kilometers. So two lives have been saved and another one which was saved in our locality. So amazing thing is in a small locality of Bandra East, there were 3 incidences of sudden cardiac arrest which have been revived. And I must tell each one of you that it has been such an initiative because of saving lives that each of the societies in Bandra East, including the college, which is at Bandra East, has got the AED installed in this thing. And I'm sure it is going to make a lot of difference.
Sir has good strike rate of CPR revival.
Yes, that is pretty awesome. I mean, you know, when you hear these inspirational stories and you share them in your talks, so people feel inspired. And a similar champion we have is Dr. Akshay Mehta. So Dr. Akshay has done some absolutely stunning work in the railways of Mumbai. We took some inspiration from him, and we got 2 AEDs installed in Lucknow. But he has had his count is up till 30 now. So these are pretty big shoes to fill. And I think Dr. Akshay Mehta has had a brilliant and innovative idea that he started doing these workshops amongst morning walkers in the parks of Mumbai. So that was such an innovative idea. So Dr. Akshay, can you just share those insights with us, because that is another segment of population like athletes, marathoners, Dr. Ajit told. So morning walkers is another segment of population one should cover. So your thoughts on that?
So being in the Rotary Club, thanks, Dr. Aditya. Being in the Rotary Club, I roped in many clubs, at least 7, 8 clubs, and many of the cardiologists like Dr. Praful Kerkar, Dr. Deepa Kane, they also joined us in going for a walk at different gardens with public. And after taking a walk, which inspired them, we did this CPR training and with the AED and installation and all that. So that was about we call them the Walk with the Dog program. And the other thing that we did was, of course, we had a charity music show in which we raised almost 70 lakhs of rupees in half an hour because we felicitated the first victim of cardiac arrest in Bandra, who was saved by Mr. Samir Firasta, taught by Sumaya and Revive Heart Foundation. And we felicitated them, told their story in the music show, and people were so inspired that they came out with donations. And so we have now almost provision for 70 AED machines, out of which 32 we have put in different railway stations. And we were rewarded very pleasantly by the revival of one patient by the use of AED machine by the station masters who were trained just a week ago. And another lady was revived at Dombivli station, where again we had taught CPR to the Jawans over there, the RPF Jawans and the staff. So at the railway stations, by now we have had 2 revivals, and we have still more machines to be installed at these railway stations. Each railway station, many of the railway stations like VT and Churchgate, I discovered have a footfall of more than 10 lakh people per day. So it's a huge number, and the chances of people having cardiac arrest is quite high. And so thanks to the Revive Heart Foundation, the great inspiration from all of you and guidance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Akshay. So I think between so many of us who are like-minded, who want to do this selfless work, we have done a pretty good job. And as Dr. Yash said, even if we are able to penetrate about, say, 10, 15, 20% of our Indian population, we would have done a pretty good job. So I see Dr. Brian also there on the screen. Hello, sir. How are you? So he has been a pioneer in advancing awareness of sudden cardiac arrest, a co-founder of Revive Heart along with Dr. Yash and Dr. Manju. And of course, we all know his credentials as a leading interventional cardiologist who deals with CAD, sequelae. So, sir, briefly in the next 2 odd minutes, can you just tell us, because many people ask us कि हम लोग बोलते हैं कि sudden cardiac arrest can happen to anywhere, happen to anybody, anywhere, anytime. But what are the major risk factors for sudden cardiac arrest? Briefly, if some members of the public want to know. Thank you.
Thank you, Aditya, and you've been doing a great job, asking those wonderful questions. I think we all understand, and I think Yash put it forward, that the commonest cause, so I'll go into the risk factors in a bit, but the commonest cause of sudden cardiac death is ischemic heart disease or coronary artery disease. Having said that, there are other causes. So basically, if you divide it amongst the people, those under the age of 35 could have other causes, like we saw the footballer who Christiansen or whatever his name was, Eriksson, who had it on the football field. So this patient did not have ischemic heart disease. So the commonest causes or the commonest risk factors, if you look at it, are the risk factors that cause coronary artery disease. So it's pretty simple. For example, patient who's hypertensive, who has a dilated heart also, or a heart which is hypertrophied, is a risk factor, a significant risk factor for this sudden cardiac death. People who have significant coronary artery stenosis, which they may or may not know about, also becomes a risk factor for this particular thing. Now, patients who have a dilated heart or patients who are in heart failure per se, whether it be the systolic, or what I'm using simple words over here, systolic heart failure or diastolic heart failure, are also at a higher risk. And the risk factors would be in the way of those who have dyslipidemia, those who have a sedentary lifestyle, those who are obese, those who are diabetic. These are the people who are more likely to have sudden cardiac arrest. As I think Yash and me were talking once, and Yash had mentioned that a person getting up early in the morning after having a late night evening, gone out for party or whatever, and has only 4 or 5 hours of sleep, comes back and starts a physical exercise at maybe 5 a.m. in the morning, that person may not know that he has any kind of heart disease, but he becomes a high risk. So which are the two other high risk situations that we commonly encounter? As Ajit mentioned, both of these guys had exercised. So at the peak of exercise and then immediately in the post exercise period, that's a very dangerous period zone. So the gymkhanas and the parks and the morning walkers and all these kind of things have to have an AED put in those places, because this is a high risk situation. The other high risk situation is those patients, those people who have started using different kinds of drugs. And there are two kinds in that. One is the drugs like cocaine and things like that, which are not called drugs, actually, they are addictions. And the second are the medications that they may be on for some reason or the other that could cause sudden cardiac arrest. And one of the other risk factors, which I think needs to be really looked into, is post the COVID, we have had many more people who have had sudden cardiac arrest. And this has been a situation which I think is carrying on. So what we have to do is every person should have these investigations which are there for the risk factors, so that we can reduce those risk factors. And secondly, we should also look into the fact that an echo, which is done at an early stage, can pick up those patients who are at risk. So I think that is important. And in the younger age group, those who want to go for exercise should have an echo, because hypertrophic cardiomyopathies or any other myopathies can be picked up. And also you could kind of situations where they have arrhythmic hearts, they already have some form of arrhythmia or the other, these are likely to get into the risk factors. So I think mainly the risk factors that are there, and maybe Yash can add something more if you want to add on the risk factors.
Good afternoon, Dr. Kapoor.
Hi.
The ball is in your court now. There is a question I have for you. You have worked so tirelessly all this while for the cause. Like I always tell you, pura Uttar Pradesh akele chala rahe ho. We were trying to target one police station. You were working with the DGP there. We are trying to target one, government office. You have been working with the biggest government offices in Lucknow and UP. Tell me, what have been your biggest hurdles so far?
Yeah, so again, that's a great question, and working on this issue, I think it has been rewarding and gratifying for all of us. But all of us have faced certain challenges, and I am sure I echo everybody's sentiments that one of the greatest challenges, at least personally, and I'm sure everybody would have encountered, is often the lack of awareness and urgency, even a laid-back attitude, not amongst just the general public, but even with the decision-making bodies. Because many people will still perceive, as Dr. Brian himself said, sudden cardiac arrest is a rare or inevitable event, not a medical emergency. And this lack of urgency, even amongst the key stakeholders, just creates a domino effect. If the authorities don't understand the gravity of the problem, it is definitely harder for them to prioritize any sudden cardiac arrest as a public health concern. For us to organize big training workshops with them, deploying AEDs, allocate resources for these. And another important thing becomes sustainability, because conducting a one-time workshop with the government organizations or with the police force may not be enough. We need to ensure that the personnel remain activated, they may remain updated. So we need to have some building system. Need to have systems for refresher courses, incorporating, the SCA training into institutional routines. So that becomes a challenge. And the third challenge, I think, is working with the government agencies often requires navigating too many bureaucratic processes, coordinating across multiple departments, and this needs patience and persistence. So that has been the epitome of all our group members. We have been patient, persistent, and now in UP also, and I again speak for all of us that across our government agencies, we have been very, very fortunate to have interacted with dynamic stakeholders who have shared our passion. And in fact, in the police force, in the administrative organization, in UP also, we found people who shared this sentiment with us, who prioritized this issue and helped us. So now slowly mindsets have changed. Organizations are themselves asking for CPR awareness programs to be done. This is a very, very welcome change. In fact, as Dr. Akshay said, now in the next 2 weeks, we have some great sessions planned with the UP Railways and showcasing the life-saving impact of these, real-world success stories has also helped us gain traction. So as Dr. Yash says, I love his tagline, let's keep soldiering on. Hum honge kamyab ek din. And I'm sure India will be CPR aware one of these days. So thank you so much. Yeah. And
thank you so much, Dr. Kapoor. I think we'll have to stop here. I know you have a couple of questions left, but we need to start with the press interaction.
Okay. So I had a couple of more questions. So, but okay, I'll hang on. I'll wait. Yeah. No problem.
Dr. Kapoor, you'll just hang on, please.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. No problem.
He can ask Dr. Aditya.
No problem. No problem.
Aditya, I can see that Sumaya is there, Sumaya Raghavan. I don't know if you'll be able to hear us. So Sumaya, you have probably conducted the largest number of CPR trainings in the country. And let's give a big hand to Sumaya.
Thank you, doctor. If you give me the permission, I just want to say one thing.
Yes.
Which is,
Please tell us in a nutshell your journey and your hurdles and how you overcame them.
Okay, thank you very much. And first of all, I'm Sumaya Raghavan. I'm the operations head of Revive Heart Foundation. I truly miss being there with all of you all. And we started this journey with Dr. Brian, Dr. Yash, Dr. Manju, Dr. Admita, Quintin, Rusi. We were a small team. We started all together. And there were definitely a lot of hurdles. People did not, though our trainings are completely free of charges, we don't charge anything. Yet, whenever we approach somebody, they always, didn't want to learn. They didn't pick up our calls. They didn't meet us. So it was very difficult initially. But after we had the Savior, the first revival, we got a lot of, good positive vibe. We got calls, we got messages, and right now we are in a good space. So yet there are a lot of hurdles that we're still crossing, but we are doing a lot of trainings and we're getting good response right now. So I'd just like to add one thing which is always asked in all of our trainings, which is if we go and help somebody, how do we get protected by the law? This is something that we all need to know. So the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways in 2016 has made this Good Samaritan law. Now, what does the law say? The law says that if you have helped somebody, you do not need to share your identification, your name, your address, your number. You do not need to share that. And even if you take somebody to the hospital, you do not need to pay anything to get that person admitted. So do Google this law. The name is Good Samaritan law, and it is for your use. It is for your safety. Go ahead, help people, save lives. Thank you.
Now I request the press to ask the question. We will just set up the stage. And meanwhile, we can play the video in between.
While they are setting up the stage, can I ask something to Dr. Manju or Dr. Do I have time?
Yeah. Please ask. Please ask.
Madam से कुछ पूछा नहीं है किसी ने. I want to ask. So
6 chairs.
So I'm just joking. Madam, this is very interesting.
You can come in the front.
There's a very interesting. There's a very interesting perspective. There is published data saying that female victims of sudden cardiac arrest have statistically lesser chances of survival because bystander mindset or hesitation hota in performing CPR on females. So how far do you think this is true? And do you think having trainings on female mannequins would perhaps make a difference?
Definitely. Yes, Dr. Aditya, that's true. Though we are very fortunate that we have had 3 female survivors in our set of survivors. But there are lots of papers which say that female survivors, female patients who suffer a cardiac arrest are less likely to be revived. More so because I think by and large, most people are very worried about being improper, touching the patient, or being accused of sexual assault. So all this will deter most of the men from helping a female. Secondly, I think it is perceived that females may have less, it is the belief that may have less cardiac events, which is not true. Females can be prone to as much of cardiac disease as the male population. The other factor which the paper said, which is the publication said, that many a times when there is a female who suffers unconsciousness or falls down, there are a lot of people who believe that this is over dramatizing of an event, and thereby they may not go ahead and help the female. which is very untrue. So we have to change that narrative. We have to train and make everybody aware that females also can suffer cardiac arrest and need to be revived, as well as having a mannequin which does have female anatomy is definitely going to help and going to change the narrative. Does that answer? So we should be having mannequins which have the female anatomy.
Absolutely.
So when you train, that is going to help people save.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
So now we will start with the press interaction. I invite Dr. Yash, Dr. Brian Pinto, Dr. Manju, Dr. Kajol, the founding member, and Mr. Johnny Edwin from IPCA. Please come on the stage. We will have a quick press interaction, madam. Please come. And Dr. Aditya is already online. Yeah, please come. Mr. Johnny Edwin, sir, please join. अभी आप बैठने से आइए सर, आप बैठ. All let everybody sit. हाँ ठीक है, थोड़ा पीछे ले लो. Sir, Dr. Deepa College, madam, please come. Please come. Arnav. Yeah, just keep the. Yeah. नहीं ये वाला नहीं. हाँ. अच्छा, 2 mics are required. Mic. अच्छा mic. ठीक है. ठीक है. Dr. Ajit Desai, Dr. Akshay, please come on the stage. Please come. Yeah.
Firstly, congratulations for opening this revived CPR App for the launch today and roping in the brand ambassador. So the question is, while administering the CPR, most of the laymen, they have a fear that the cartridge of the chest or the ribs can be broken. So while administering the CPR, they do tend to do it not properly, slowly. So how do you address this?
Yeah, it's possible that when you push the chest 2 inches deep 100 times a minute, there's a likelihood of rib fractures occurring. But one should not worry at all. Even if there is a sound of rib fracture occurring, one should not worry. One should continue CPR because life is more important. At the most, if rib fracture occurs, it will heal later on. So one should never worry about rib fractures. Okay.
And since you launched this life-saving AED machine, so what is the cost and how do one procure it?
I think there are basically 2 companies which have these AEDs, which are very, very simple to use. One is from the Philips and the other is from the Schiller. And both are available. The approximate cost of each of these is approximately about 90,000 rupees. So these are available. There is some short supply as far as the Philips machines are concerned, but otherwise Schiller is also available here.
If I can add to that, the AED machine battery lasts for 5 to 8 years and is capable of giving about 100 to 150 shocks. So it is a very small investment. There are other companies also which are coming in, which are there. And we will see, for example, a small country like Korea, there are 4 AED company making machines. So I'm sure with Make in India, we will soon have other companies also. And important thing is that it's a very minuscule cost compared to life save.
So once the
sir, just adding to this, many people ask us in the workshop कि AED लिया और use नहीं हुआ. So we tell them it's a good thing कि नहीं use हुआ. So that is why it's a good investment कि ना use हो तो अच्छा है, पर use करना आना चाहिए.
So it can last for 8 years without
5 to 8 years.
So any calibration needs to be done to the AED machine once it's installed?
Actually, there is most AED machines have a light that blinks. So if the battery, if the light is blinking, battery is okay.
How this CPR app is useful? CPR app is useful.
The CPR app is very useful because otherwise you would not know exactly what to do. The important thing, as Kajol mentioned also, was that immediately it would connect you with a ambulance service. So that is the first thing that is going to be important. Then the other thing is that it gives you a step-by-step detailed method in which you would do it. For example, you may not remember everything that was said over here today, but once you put on the app, it would tell you how to place the patient, how you have to be down on the floor if the patient's on the floor. It would tell you how many beats. It would possibly also tell you that this is the way, that this is the sequencing. For example, you only have to check two things. You don't have to check the pulse, as may have been mentioned, but you have to check only the fact that the patient is not responsive, and the second is the breathing. So it's very simple to check this in maybe 30 seconds or less. And therefore, it will give you step by step the applications that go through all this. And that also, the very important other fact is that it will give you the location of the AED machine, and it will also possibly tell you where the volunteers are close by. So therefore, two more additional pieces of information besides other things would be there. But I think Kajol may have more to add.
Yes, I think regional languages also. Next, the app is going to be updated, and in other regional languages also it is going to be.
तो आपने मोबाइल ऑन किया, साइड में रखा, वो बोल रहे हैं और आप वो देख के कर रहे हैं. So it's a very normally some countries have come to the extent कि वो टेलीफोन ऑपरेटर तुमको बोलता है और तुम ये करो वो करो, इधर तो तुम्हारे सामने with the images, तो बड़ा easy पड़ जाता है.
Also, the app, the reach is tremendous. You know, so many people, everybody carries a mobile phone. And once you download it, it is universal. You cannot target everyone in these group meetings, which becomes very difficult. But when you have the app, you can download and do the things very easily and go in a stepwise manner as has been discussed.
जैसा कुछ टेक्निकली सर्टिफाइड किया गया है क्या किसी टेक्नीशियन या किसी एजेंसी अथॉरिटी से इस तरह से अप्रोच किया गया है
किसको
टेक्निकली इसको कैसे अप्रोच किया, कोई पर्सन उसको लैब परीक्षण किया गया जैसे किसी
जिसको ट्रेनिंग दिया, वैसे आप इसके बात करते हैं.
नहीं, तो मशीन
ये देयर इज समथिंग, आप AED मशीन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. ये ऐप के एवरी स्टेप जो मेडिकल स्टेप है, द ग्रुप ऑफ सीनियर डॉक्टर्स कार्डियोलॉजिस्ट में मैं भी हूं, वी हैव वेरीफाइड, द रिवाइव हार्ट फाउंडेशन हैज वेरीफाइड दैट द मेडिकल, बिकॉज ये भी सही बात है, आप नेट पे कई चीज देखते हैं, कई चीज लोग कुछ भी डाल सकते हैं नेट पे, बट दिस फैक्ट्स हैव बीन वेरीफाइड. एंड जो भी इस पे डाला गया है, जिस तरह से CPR देना है, जिस तरह से आपको AED मशीन यूज करना है, ये बड़े स्टैंडर्ड है, ये एकदम स्टैंडर्ड. अगर आप कोई भी हार्ट एसोसिएशन में जाएंगे कोई कंट्री के, जैसे यूरोपियन हार्ट एसोसिएशन या अमेरिकन हार्ट एसोसिएशन या इवन इंडियन हार्ट के जो एसोसिएशंस है, कार्डियोलॉजी सोसाइटी इंडिया एक्सेट्रा, जिसका मैं भी मेंबर हूँ, डॉक्टर ब्रायन भी, हम सब मेंबर्स हैं, ये उनके भी गाइडलाइंस में, या टेक्स्ट बुक खोलेंगे स्टैंडर्ड, वो भी गाइडलाइंस में यही देखा गया है.
जैसे आपने बताया कि इंडिया के अंदर 15 लाख लोगों की कार्डियक अरेस्ट से मौत होती है. ट्रेनिंग की बात कर रहे थे कि स्कूल्स के अंदर भी जो 10th के बच्चे हैं उनको ट्रेनिंग वगैरह देनी चाहिए. इसके लिए आप लोगों ने कैसा कॉन्सेप्ट रखा है कि उसको किस तरीके से लोगों ने?
तो ये आपने बहुत अच्छा मुद्दा उठाया, क्योंकि कई देशों में जैसे डॉक्टर मंजू बताएंगे, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में फॉर एग्जांपल कंपलसरी है कि आप स्कूल पास करोगे तो आप CPR जानना चाहिए. यूएसए में 52 स्टेट्स में से ऑलमोस्ट 25 स्टेट्स में ये कंपलसरी है. स्कैंडिनेवियन कंट्रीज में कंपलसरी, तो कई कंट्रीज में ये कंपलसरी है. हम 3-4 साल से थ्रू द एजुकेशन मिनिस्ट्री, सेंट्रल एंड स्टेट्स, वी हैव बीन ट्राइंग टू अप्रोच, एंड इट इज गुड कि इंडिया में भी कई सिलेबस में, CBSE के सिलेबस में, इवन स्टेट कोई सिलेबसेस में ऑलरेडी CPR पे आ गए हैं स्मॉल सब चैप्टर्स. लेकिन कोशिश हमारी ये है कि उसको आप मार्क्स दें. फाइनल एग्जाम 10th की या 12th की एग्जाम में 5 मार्क का क्वेश्चन हो, तो अगर ये हो जाएगा तो फिर नेचुरली स्टूडेंट्स खुद और स्कूल्स खुद सिखाए। और इसमें कोई कॉस्ट नहीं है, ये कोई कॉस्ट, इसमें सिर्फ एक विजन, जो हमारे जो ये पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं उनमें विजन हो, दृष्टि हो, तो ये किया जा सकता है। इसलिए होपफुली 10 साल पहले और आज ऑलरेडी काफी इंप्रूवमेंट हो गई। हमने लास्ट ईयर, जैसे ये ईयर हमने टारगेट किया था, ये ईयर के कैंपेन में स्कूल्स एंड एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट्स, तो लेकिन ये बहुत लोग करेंगे तो धीरे धीरे ये मोमेंटम बिल्डअप होगा और सून कई 2-4 सालों में आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट कि इंडिया में भी ये कंपलसरी हो जाएगा कि स्कूल पास करने के पहले नहीं सिखाए जाए, बट एग्जाम में एक 5 to 10 मार्क का क्वेश्चन भी हो CPR और AED पे।
ऐसे बड़े बड़े स्टेशंस में ऐसे कैंपेन वीडियो बना के जाना चाहिए, जैसे गाड़ी में टर्मिनल में वगैरह, ऐसे आप लोग
या तो हम लोग जो हमने अबाउट 32 स्टेशन पे लगाए हैं, तो नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक टू दी हायर अथॉरिटीज रेलवेज के, कि रेलवेज में आप देखेंगे डिब्बों में वो इलेक्ट्रॉनिक आता है मैसेजेस, तो नेक्स्ट स्टेशन ये आने वाला है ये वगैरह, सो वहाँ एवरी कंपार्टमेंट कैन हैव दैट। एंड प्लस आप जो बता रहे हैं थोड़ा वीडियोस ऑन दी टीवी स्क्रीन कैन बी शोन, तो ये भी होगा।
इसका कॉस्ट कितना आता है, मशीन का जो कॉस्ट है, अगर एक आम इंसान को रीच करना है सोसाइटीज वगैरह, उसका कॉस्ट कितना है?
और 90,000 rupees to 1 lakh।
कपूर से एक सवाल है, जैसे यूपी जो है बेसिकली वहाँ पर सबसे ज्यादा आबादी है और वहाँ पर ग्रामीण इलाके ज्यादा है, तो ग्रामीण इलाके में अगर कार्डियक की बात करें, शहरों के अंदर तो ठीक है कि शहरों के अंदर लोगों को अवेयरनेस होती है, तमाम चीज होता है, तो ग्रामीण इलाकों में जैसे यूपी बिहार, इन ग्रामीण इलाकों में आप लोग कैसे रीच करेंगे और किस तरीके से प्रोग्राम आगे बढ़ेगा?
So I don't think Dr. Kapoor has heard the question, but let me answer on his behalf. हम महाराष्ट्र में भी और यूपी में भी काफ़ी ऐसे इलाकों में काम कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे कोई इंग्लिश नहीं बोलता, कोई शायद हिंदी भी नहीं बोलते, सब लोकल लैंग्वेजेस चलती हैं। हमारे पास एक सर्वाइवल स्टोरी ऐसी भी है जो एक लिटरली तबेले में किसी ने कार्डियक अरेस्ट एक्सपीरियंस किया, किसी ने उनको विटनेस किया और CPR दिया। CPR हम छत्तीसगढ़ के गाँव में जहाँ पे लोग सीड्स कलेक्ट करने जाते हैं, साल सीड्स, हमने वहाँ पे भी एक कैंपेन किया था। जब यहाँ से हमने वीडियो पे उन्हें सिखाया, वहाँ एक ट्रांसलेटर था, उन्होंने वहाँ पे उन्हें ट्रांसलेट करके बता दिया। 3 या 4 स्टेप्स हैं, वो हिंदी में सिखाई जाए या लोकल लैंग्वेज में, लोग समझ गए। तो वी वर वेरी हैप्पी कि हमारी जो ये इन्फॉर्मेशन है ये पर्कोलेट हो रही है, इसमें कोई लैंग्वेज की बाधा नहीं आ रही है। विजयवाड़ा में भी एक सेशन हुआ था जो एकदम लोकल वेरी वेरी अनएजुकेटेड पॉपुलेशन, लेकिन वो समझ सके, और जब उनसे हमने पूछा कि आपको समझ में आया कि हम क्या बोल रहे हैं, वो समझ गए थे। सो वी आर होपिंग कि और जैसे जैसे रीजनल लैंग्वेजेस आएंगी ऐप में तो काफी और लोग भी इसे एक्सेस कर पाएंगे।
आपने वॉलंटियर्स की बात किया था कि वॉलंटियर्स जो है ऐप के अंदर रहेंगे, वॉलंटियर्स किस तरीके से बनेंगे और उनको किस तरीके से हेल्प और ट्रेनिंग दी जाएगी?
हम लोग ने ये चालू किया है, यहाँ पे हम एक ट्रेनिंग कोर्स जो सुमैया बात की यहाँ पे बता दिए कि यहाँ पे हार्ट मार्शल्स के हमने चालू किया, ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम चालू किया। लेकिन मुझे ये लगता है कि ये जो ऐप है, ये ऐप के थ्रू हम ऑल इंडिया रीच कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि ये ऐप जब जाएंगे, गाँव में जाएंगे, शहरों में जाएंगे, कहाँ पे भी जाएंगे, तो वो ऐप से पता चल जाएगा कि ये कैसा करना है। और किसी को सर्टिफिकेशन शायद हम लोग को ज्यादा रीच करने के लिए ऐप के थ्रू और भी रीच हो जाएगा। लेकिन हमारा हार्ट मार्शल का प्रोग्राम तो चालू है और डॉक्टर्स लाइक अक्षय मेहता, अजीत देसाई, बाकी के लोग भी है, हमारे कंटिन्यूसली ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम चलते हैं। तो हार्ट मार्शल्स है हमारे पास में, उन्होंने हमारे ऐप पे अभी ऑलरेडी है, उनके साथ में वो हार्ट मार्शल्स को एक सर्टिफिकेशन कोर्स मिलते हैं, वो कोर्स के साथ
जो स्कूल, जो कॉलेजेस और जो इंटरेस्टेड है, हम यंगर जनरेशन को टारगेट करते हैं, उनको बुलाते हैं, 3 घंटे का सेपरेट सेशन लेके के 2 सेशन लेते हैं और उसके बाद एक एग्जाम लेते हैं, और जो क्लियर करते हैं तो उनको हम हार्ट मार्शल का सर्टिफिकेट देते हैं। वो हम यहाँ बॉम्बे में, मुंबई में करते हैं। दूसरे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन देश में दूसरे, तो ये जैसे चेयरमैन माओ ने कहा था, लेट 1,000 फ्लावर्स ब्लूम, तो ये जब तब सक्सेस होएगा जब देश में दूसरे लोग भी कर रहे हैं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल डॉक्टर हैगिरी राव ने बताया वो विजयवाड़ा में कर रहे हैं, कोई हिसार में कर रहा है, कोई दिल्ली में कर रहा है, तो अपनी अपनी तरह से वो ट्रेनिंग लेके लोकल बॉडी से सर्टिफिकेशन देते हैं। तो जो नॉन मेडिकल पर्सन है, चाहे स्टूडेंट हो, चाहे ऑफिस में काम करता हो, चाहे हाउसवाइफ हो, कुछ भी हो, वो एक्स्ट्रा ट्रेनिंग लेके वॉलंटियर बन सकते हैं।
ये ऐप में भी एक फैसिलिटी है कि आप वॉलंटियर रजिस्टर कर सकते हो। अगर आपको आता है, आप सर्टिफाइड ट्रेनर हो, तो आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हो कि मैं वॉलंटियर हूँ। सो देन देयर इज समबडी नियर बाय जिसको है दे कैन कॉन्टैक्ट यू एज अ वॉलंटियर कि प्लीज कम एंड हेल्प। जैसे AED लोकेशन है वैसे वॉलंटियर लोकेशन भी होएगा। That is the next step with the app.
Does this have you access to hospitals and ambulances?
108 central, only the central number, because it is.
And will the app be absolutely free?
Yes, absolutely. And as well as to address जो आप बोल रहे थे कि कैसे हम पहुंचेंगे different ग्रामीण, मोबाइल फोन्स तो सब जगह हैं अभी। मोबाइल फोन्स have percolated everywhere. So wherever there is a mobile, the app will be available and training will be available.
My last question, can one apply the AED in case there is no volunteer directly?
Yes, of course. The AED is supposed to be foolproof. It is for non-medical, non-medically trained, non-paramedical, what we call lay public, यानी आम जनता के लिए इस्तेमाल करने के लिए, definitely.
And you cannot harm with an AED. AED से कोई harm नहीं कर सकते, because AED will give you a prompt. Give shock now. It will not. अगर person is breathing or the heart is working well, the AED will not give you the prompt कि give a shock.
मराठीतून विचारतो थोडंसं. अलीकडे कोरोनानंतर आपण सांगितलं की याच्या सगळ्या शक्यता खूप वाढलेल्या असतात. तरुणांमध्ये सुद्धा हा सगळा प्रकार अधिकाधिक वाढतो. या निमित्तानं शिक्षणात याचा सहभाग व्हावा किंवा वेगवेगळ्या अभ्यासक्रमामध्ये याचा सहभाग व्हावा यासाठी आपल्याकडून काही असा प्रस्ताव अशा स्वरूपाचा काही सुरू आहे?
आता डॉक्टर यश लोखंडवालांनी सांगितलं की आम्ही ही आपली एज्युकेशन इंडस्ट्री मिनिस्ट्री जी आहे त्यांना आम्ही अप्रोच करतो आहे की हे शाळेमध्ये पर्टिक्युलरली 9वी आणि 10वीची कक्षाची मुलं आहेत त्यांना हा एक टॉपिक ठेवावा की CPR बद्दल. बऱ्याचशा कंट्रीमध्ये त्याने सांगितलं की USA मध्ये, स्कॅन्डिनेव्हियन कंट्रीजमध्ये हे त्यांच्या कोर्समध्येच आहे, टीचिंग कोर्स म्हणजे स्कूलमध्ये. ते आम्ही अप्रोच करतोय आणि बऱ्याच ठिकाणी आता 10वीच्या मुलांना सुद्धा हे शिकवलं जात आहे. पण ते कोर्समध्ये त्यांच्या टेक्स्टबुकमध्ये दिलं तर मग ते मॅन्डेटरी होणार सगळ्यांना समजायला की बाबा हे CPR शिकणं फार इम्पॉर्टंट आहे.
Sir, are you targeting a lot of organizations in Mumbai because people in Mumbai metro cities lot of having stress and also due to heart attack?
Oh yes.
So the
contribution to this app or only Revive is there?
No, apart from app has come now, but in last 7 years we have trained many government bodies and many private corporate organizations also, all free of cost. See, there are other bodies. There are the Anesthesia Association which does. There are other bodies also do, and the idea is let there be many more too, so that we can reach. But on our part, we have been doing all this. There are some who train for a fee also. But the Revive Art Foundation has been doing totally free work for last.
Are you inserting this into CSR? The corporate
social? So just to answer that question, basically, I think we get some money from CSR companies, but we are only using it for this purpose. We're not charging. If some company calls us, we're not charging the company per se. But if they give us some funding through CSR, we accept that. We do not label it that you have to pay to get the training. But then once you do it, many of the corporates also kind of give some funds. That's how it's running. That's what you want to do.
Only sustained on CSR and volunteer support.
Yes, donations.
Which companies are involved in Revive?
Totally voluntary service by all the doctors.
Thank you. We wish you success in your game.
Thank you. चलो मैं निकलता हूँ. Good.
Excuse me, there is a closing remark, so please be seated. Please be in the hall.
अनेक शहरमध्ये सगळं करोडो लोक Okay.
Closing. ठीक है. Dr. Brian, we are inviting him for closing remarks.
Yeah. Actually, this is more of a vote of thanks. I think we've forgotten to thank some of the very important players over here. We must thank IPCA, first of all, for organizing this app and for really this event. I wouldn't say second, but I say as important, or maybe more important, is Holy Family Hospital. Because without Holy Family Hospital, we would not have been able to start this venture. And they have been, and Sister Beena specifically over there, who has given us the ability to run the program through Holy Family Hospital. So that also deserves a very big thank you. Of course, Dr. Yash Lokhandwala, Dr. Manju, Dr. Kajol, and Dr. Deepa, and the two people who are with Revive Heart Foundation, but also work individually, Dr. Akshay Mehta, Dr. Ajit Desai, and we must not forget Dr. Soneji, because he himself also puts up a lot of machines. One person who has remained very steadfast in his commitment has been Mr. Quintin, who has constantly helped us with the upgradation of the app. And in fact, he has initiated, I would not say upgradation, but the initiation of the process has been with him. And he started with all the QR codes and things like that. So he's been one person whom we must thank. Besides that, we must also thank many of the organizations which have donated to us. They have donated to us in no small measure. And because of that, as one question was put to us, I'm not going to take the names of all the people over here, but the donations have flowed in with time. And therefore, it's important that we've been able to sustain this activity. And that's a very important thing. And we request IPCA and other such companies that may have CSRs available to fund it to Revive Heart Foundation, so that these programs can go on. Have I missed anybody else? Dr. Aditya, correct. Dr. Aditya Kapoor, and I will not remember everybody over there, but the whole team that came on. Yes, if you want to say the names of everybody, then that's okay. So I would say, yeah, Sumaya we thanked already, but I think it's very important. And Anand before him, and now Ganesh. So these are the people who have helped to keep the kind of work going. So I think that's an important area. Sumaya has been with us now for 7 years. And I think that has been very instrumental in conducting a lot of the programs. So with this, if I've forgotten anybody, then I'm sorry about that. But I think this was the important thing. And once again, thank you to IPCA for organizing all this and allowing us to come through. Thank you so much. Mr. Sandeep, yeah. He's been persistent, and everybody individually, and Mr. Sandeep in special.